What up, everybody? This is your boy Marqmaster here to do a discussion of this upcoming Bandai Namco game that is being teased. That is My One's Justice 3. Like, it's been quite a rumor so far, like where they posted a leak on Twitter where they showing a poster with Deku and Shigaraki and most of the heroes and villains in the cover. And I guess it may be true. My One's Justice 3 is coming. So what characters would we expect to see that may happen? Like, before discussing that, like they shown us a tease from Bandai Namco YouTube channel where they're gonna be announcing the game probably in the summer's showcase that's coming in July 2nd. So I decided to do a little quick discussion talk before then. So what do you think that we expect to see in the third games? Because so far it's been quite of a good run for me, playing My One's Justice 2. It's been a great game. I kind of stopped playing it for about I think about a year or two. It's been such a fun game though, but I kind of stopped ever since I was doing all the tutorial videos. If you guys like watching the tutorials I be doing, you can let me know in the comments. So if they all been handing to you, I've been getting a lot of comments from you guys about me doing all the tutorials of the characters in My One's Justice 2. You guys say it's great, you guys think it's awesome. So I may probably do a lot more character tutorials if My One's Justice 3 does drop. So I'm looking forward to it anyway. Especially it's saying about the time we get a My One's Justice 3 game, since the Hero Academia final arc is about to commence. The second half of the war, where Deku and Shigaraki are still doing a final showdown. And plus with All Might with his Iron Might outfit against All For One. So it's getting pretty big so far. So what do we expect to see in the game that may be in the roster? What characters, what stages do I mean? So what I do be aware of, since we got Gentle Criminal as DLC, he is obviously gonna be a playable character. And plus I kind of expecting Hai and Nomu to be in My One's Justice 3. It's a strong hunch because he kind of did make the cut in the start of My One's Justice 2. They did put Overhaul though as the final boss character, but mostly they could have added Hai and Nomu in that game, but they didn't. So I guess the tease up to that right now, where we're gonna be seeing Hai and Nomu as a playable character and plus a boss. So there's a strong chance as well we're gonna see Endeavor being all differenter now, where he's gonna be the #1 hero in his outfit. Where they may probably cut off the 1.0 Endeavor and give us the 2.0 version of him, just well, of course they did give us Shigaraki. Shigaraki got two versions, so one that's the base one and one that's the 2.0 one with his jacket. I really love the jacket one. It's more good. So I might say also we might obviously see a third version of Shigaraki as well, the 3.0, where he be All For One in Shigaraki. So of course they gave us a tease outfit of him wearing his skin. He's a skin up version of the All For One Shigaraki that Deku fought upon the Liberation Arc War. So I would also expect that Deku, he may end up being teasing himself being the low 120% of his power self. So we will obviously be seeing that, since they gave us 100% Deku as I believe he was a free DLC character. I remember he was freely playable in the game. Yeah, as DLC, I think so. So yeah, I think he was a playable free character right after the storyline. So I would say mostly we would then see Infinite 120 Deku fighting against Shigaraki, but are we would be expecting Shigaraki in his armor state, where he being that full armor state would be all a Hulk type of guy, where he'd be all bulky with all his fingers and stuff. That's what we seen in the final of the war that Deku fought during that fight. It was very epic though. I think we might probably see him as a version, or probably he may be I would say mostly he would be like an ultimate attack of the All for One Shigaraki, where he turns into the armor state. But it all depends how it'll be. Like if he's gonna be insanely broken in the game. So far, like like I did discuss earlier, like they shown like a showcase of Deku teasing cell, like where he's strapping on his glove. So like he may probably be a lot more clean and a lot more buffer. But I might think that's like the shoe style Deku, but I might think it may be more than that, where he may have like a different animation screen, and plus maybe his movesets might be more different and more edited. Maybe compared to Bakugo 2, maybe Bakugo's moves might be more changed up. Because, you know, it has been like, I think about maybe like 3 years ever since the second game. And the second game was a bomb. Like, it was very great. I did enjoy the game, even though I stopped playing it. But I definitely we're going to be seeing like a new version of Bakugo, though. I'm looking forward for that, if it does happen. Or we may probably see anything else different, like the joint training art stage. That'll be a new stage in the game, you know, and we might end up seeing Monoma. And you know, Monoma, we already got him in My Hero Ultra Rumble, and I did finally got to unlock it. He's a very handy and, you know, very fun character to play. I really loved his copy quirk, so I might think he may end up being in my 1-3 copying people's quirks in a one-on-one fight, which could be unfair if he'd be insanely buff, you know, like if like where he's stealing people's quirks. But it makes me wonder what would be his super and ultimate attack, like, you know, his level 1 plus ultra attack and his level 2 ultra attack. Will he be like copying like all their ultimate attacks, and you know in a way, like, or if he's gonna have his own ultimate attack? That makes me wonder, like, since he's copying people's quirks, if he's gonna copy their ultimate attack as well. I might probably not think so. He might just have his own movesets and his own ultimate attack. Of course, he would be copying people's quirks, but he wouldn't have like a similar like ultimate attack like them. Like if he's copying Deku, he wouldn't have the same ultimate attack as him. Probably like he'll pretty much like have his own ultimate attack, but you know, it just be his regular self. You know, you guys get what I mean. So okay, anywho, like other than Monoma, I will also see Ibarra, because she rounded up in My Hero Ultra Rumble as well. And we may probably see Cementos, it depends, because he got into Ultra Rumble as well. And plus, so I'll see certain returning characters like Mirio, Nejiri, and obviously Tamaki, where they're not going to pull out the big three, I can tell that. Even Rappa from the Saikai, you know, who was with Overhaul. So there is a possibility that their movesets could be changed up, or they're going to stay the same. But if they do stay the same, you know, I wouldn't have to do no tutorial videos of that. But if they do change up, I will show you guys a tutorial video of how to play those characters if my 1-3 does be official. If it does be officially coming out, maybe like, I would say probably like this fall, it would make a lot of sense. Because I think we did got the last 2 games during around fall. And, you know, it's been a heck of a bomb, you know, I really enjoyed them. So we would pretty much see like a little more villains into the game, like Spinner. Like Spinner was one of the ones that haven't got in the game yet. We got like most of the villains from the League of Villains already. We got Mr. Gun Press, who came into the second game, which I was so happy about, even twice as well. Of course, they killed off Magni in the anime, which is why she didn't wind up in Justice 2. So she would not be in my 1-3 because, you know, like I said, she's dead. So we obviously will see Toga back. We'll obviously see, like I said, Overhaul. We're obviously gonna see Shigaraki. But I have a feeling they may end up like dropping the bomb by giving us Redestro, because Redestro is one of the boss villains that, you know, Shigaraki faced upon the My Hero. Well, they call it My Villain Academia, but like that was like his arc where he was facing him in the. It was like sort of like a villain war that they were having, where like they were creating a liberation war. So. And then he ended up joining on his side, like when Shigaraki defeated him, you know. So we may probably end up seeing him as a playable character. I guarantee that, because I was expecting him to wound up in one of the DLC season passes, but he never made the cut. But instead, they did give us Ariyama, And Ariyama was like, you know, revealed as the turn traitor against the UA, which is why they did drop him in the roster, because he was secretly the UA traitor who secretly worked for All For One to infiltrate the UA. And then, you know, he was still a good person. He still sided with Deku and all of them, you know, because, you know, he felt bad with what he did and stuff. So we also would see him back, since he was DLC. He ought to be a playable character back, and he would be part of the arc. And I would then we will see like a different version of Todoroki, where he does like the flash fire fist, you know, where he combines both his ice and his fire quirks against Dabi, where Dabi also like learns that move from Todoroki, where they fought each other. So we would pretty much see like a 2.0 version of them. Like their moveset would be like a lot changed, a lot more buffer, a lot more stronger, like, you know, when it comes to their fire quirks. So it would be pretty much an epic run on that one too. And I'm not sure about Toga though. Would Toga like be having any different movesets really? I don't think so. I think her moveset would be still the same. Where like, well, I would definitely know in a boss fight if we're playing like Ochako. Like she would have to be the one facing Toga, where she be creating all those armies of twices. You know, like the Sad Man's Death Parade was pretty crazy. It's like doing a Venom thing, like where we had to find the real Toga. So I might think that's what might probably happen, right? And I had to fight like a Toga in Twice's body. Yeah, but she was transformed into him because, you know, Twice got killed by Hawks. So I can definitely see a lot of versus fights that's gonna commence in the part 3 game. You know, we also gonna see like where we gonna be fighting Monoma. I didn't know Monema's gonna be one of the opponents that we're gonna fight in the storyline. And honestly, Shinzo's obviously gonna be back as a playable character because he was DLC, and I really enjoyed Shinzo. Shinzo was a great character. He was obviously highly requested. I really loved his moveset, his blind cloth and stuff. He was insanely, you know, OP. Especially when I played him on arcade mode. He's insanely buff, guys. Even buff like Midnight. Even Midnight's very buff. Like when it comes to her whip. They're very like powerful OP characters, like very like S rank tier. So we obviously will see him in the game. Obviously still Midnight back, like I said. Even Kurogiri is obviously gonna be the ones coming into the game, because I really enjoyed playing him in Ultra Rumble and plus in My One's Justice 2. Yeah, but in Ultra Rumble his movesets were a little different. It wasn't like My One's Justice 2 base. But I would have a feeling they might give him a new quirk skill in the future in My Hero Ultra Rumble compared to My One's Justice. So again, we're also gonna see him back anyway. So it'll be a no-brainer because I would really enjoy him. And plus, I really hope like, you know, they may do like a lot more improvements of the characters' movesets to make them a little more balanced. Because sometimes, you know, when I play certain characters, sometimes their movesets be a little bit off, you know, when it comes to me, you know, attacking certain the characters and stuff. Sometimes their movesets will feel a little off sometimes. So yeah, I'll just see Kurogiri coming back, obviously. Shinzo, yeah, Midnight. And plus I would see Inasa and Cammy obviously coming back. And along with his CG, with his meatball quirk, of course, it's because he's very buff too. Like he's very like a S tier rank because his meatball quirk, it does like a heck of projectile moves, and he'd be like on the offensive when it comes to his meatball quirk. And obviously Mina will obviously be a returning character, guys, because she did came in My One's Justice 2 along with Bayonetta. Like they were like two big surprising characters that got into the game too. So we're obviously gonna be not seeing any of the characters cut off from the game. We're also gonna be seeing some newcomers upon like doing like a new storyline right after facing like Overhaul. I think that's what they're gonna do. They probably gonna skip like the Overhaul storyline, and we're gonna be facing like a, you know, gentle criminal who tries to sabotage the UA school. You know, where they be doing like the festival for Eerie to have Eerie smile. So I think he's gonna be obviously the first boss we're gonna be fighting during the start of the storyline. And then it's gonna be Hai and Nomu, and then we probably gonna be playing the villains too upon the arc as well. Yeah, along with the joint training, I don't know if they would put any more of the Class 1B characters other than Monoma, because we did got Izuka Kendo. Like she was in My One Sis 2 as DLC, so she'll obviously be playable along with Tetsu. So I would definitely still see Ibarra though, because I didn't mention Ibarra. Ibarra is gonna be one coming in because she did wound up in My Hero Ultra Rumble as like a 4th Class 1B character. But I will also see Pony Tsunatori, like where she was in the joint training arc as well with Class 1B. She will always be a playable character. I can see her like being a very good character to play. But I'm not sure about any 1A characters. I don't know if any of the Class 1A characters that that haven't made the cut yet would be in the game too. So if they do, it would be quite a surprise. Of course, I would also see Ariyama coming back, but I don't know if there's any others that we would expect to see in the game that that I haven't really mentioned yet. But I would like to know in your comments what you guys think. Like, what characters you think is gonna come in My One Justice 2? I mean, well, not 2, not the part 3 that they're teasing. We're going to part 3 now, so I would like to know in your comments, like, because I wouldn't see no villains from the My Hero Academia movies to be canon, because they never got into part 2, so they wouldn't be like any canon villains into the game as well. So I would say My One Justice 3 would be a lot more like Smash Bros, where they got span around through a lot more characters upon the next part of the storyline arc. So I would then see also All For One. I would see All For One, like when he be breaking out Tartarus, where he be having a new suit and stuff, like that he fights Endeavor in the war on, and plus Hawks, I mean, his suit is very more dope. Like, I would then see him coming in as a playable new character. I would see him as a 2.0 character though, and his movesets might be a lot more buffer. And we're pretty much gonna see Iron Might. That's a character I haven't mentioned yet. Iron Might would end up being My One Justice 3, but I guess a strong feeling though he could possibly be a playable DLC character, but it depends. Because just like with Infinite 100 Deku, I think we'll see like Infinite 120 Deku as DLC though, even like a Shigaraki as well in his All For One state, where he be all bulky and stuff. So there's a lot of possible predictions. Even like certain stages from the Final War arc, I might see that's gonna happen. And I don't know we're gonna be fighting Gigantomachia as one of the villains, like as one of the villain bosses. He's obviously gonna be in My One Justice 3, and probably like he's gonna be insanely OP and buff. So of course we would have to fight him in the middle of the war, and plus in the second part where we're gonna see probably like a young version of All For One as the final boss. Yeah, so I think I would then see that too. I don't see like All For One like being in his young state by Ares Rewind quirk. I would then see him as a final boss. But well, it would be so frightening if he actually be insanely like S tier. If his moveset be a lot more buffer than his base self, where he'd be an adult version. So I guess that'll be enough for now of anything I'm predicting how it is in My One Justice 3. Since it's coming in July 2nd, we're gonna see a reveal trailer of Deku and plus any future heroes and villains that we probably like end up seeing that's not in One Justice 2 that I haven't mentioned yet. But I do know we're gonna see like new stages, new ultimate attacks, new characters, and plus like a new battle mechanic. Like like a new mode possibly, like maybe like a 3 vs 3 fight, maybe online and local. So tell me guys in the comments below, what do you guys like to see in My One Justice 3? What characters do you want to see in My One Justice 3 that I haven't mentioned yet, or that I did mention? Or in what stage you think that is gonna wound up in My One Justice 3 when it reveals in July 3rd, like where we're gonna see Deku in the reveal trailer of My One Justice 3. So tell me in the comment below what you think. I would like to know, like, what are your thoughts? What are your facts that might happen in the game? I would like to know about your answers, and stay tuned for any more future reactions in the future. Later.